So today we are going to see if some step response has been given to an LTI system, then what will be the output. Okay, means some in response to some step input, how this LTI systems responds with respect to this input. So we are going to give some step input to the system. Okay, so we'll today start with step response. Means some step input has been given, so what will be the output from that LTI system. Okay, so step input signals are often used to characterize the response of an LTI system to certain changes in the input, certain changes. So if we look into the impulse signal or impulse function, what we are having, some kind of impulse or an infinite amplitude for a minimal duration of time, or you can say at t is equals to 0, for that time instant we are having an sudden peak in the amplitude. So that is somewhat impulse function. Okay, but if we look at the step function, let us consider it is ut. So it is starting from 0, then going like this, maintaining a certain amplitude. For an unit step pulse, it is having unit amplitude. Okay, so what does it mean? So here previously, if you look at this side, it maintains the amplitude of 0 up to this origin 0, right? But at this origin there is sudden change in the amplitude. So it has, this edge is been rises from 0 to 1. So here some changes is there. So if we say that this step function is finite in nature, let us consider it is up to 0, 1 and 2. So at 2 there is again an fall in the edge from 1 to 0. So for this kind of sudden change in the input, how this LTI system responses, that can be found out with respect to some step input signal. Okay, so when some step input has been given, how this system responding with sudden change in the input. Okay, so this is often used to characterize the response of an LTI system to sudden changes in the input. Okay, so this step response is defined as the output due to a unit step signal. Okay, it is defined as the output due to a unit step input signal. Okay, so we know the impulse response of a discrete time LTI system, that is represented by h of n. Okay, and step response is represented by s of n. So let us consider, let h of n be the impulse response of the discrete time LTI system, and the step response is denoted by s of n. Okay, so what is this s of n? It is the response of this LTI system when step is as the input, right? So this hn is the system parameter when impulse response or impulse is given, right? So we can say this step response is the impulse response convolution with step input. Okay, just try to understand. So previously when we have been considering y of t as the output of the system, when xt as the input, and this is the h of n is the impulse response. Now for this case, when Sn is the output of that LTI system, so our input is the unit step. Okay, so what we can write in terms of summation, k is starting from minus infinite to infinite, h of k, u of n minus k. Okay, now since u of n minus k is 0 for k less than n, sorry, k greater than n, not less than, k greater than n, u of n minus k is 0 for k greater than n, and u of n minus k is 1 for k less than is equals to n, or we can take as n greater than k, and this case for n less than is equals to k. So what we can write, our Sn is exist starting from k is equals to minus infinite up to n h of k, because this one is 1 within this range. All the amplitude of this unit step is unity. Okay, so the step response, we can say, is the running sum of the impulse responses. So what we can draw as the conclusion, that the step response, from this step response is the running sum of the impulse response. Okay, so if we take different k value, so and after taking that, if we sum them, then we can able to construct this step response. Okay, so similarly for the continuous time system, if we consider similarly for continuous time system, this s of t will be integration from minus infinite to t h of tau d tau. Okay, now if we wants to extract this impulse response from this step response, then what will be that? So inverting the relationship to express impulse response in terms of step response. To express the impulse response in terms of step response, what we can write, h of n, this is the impulse response, is like this, and in terms of continuous time system, h of t will be derivative of s of t. Okay, so as if it is summation, so if we wants to extract this h of k or h of n from this s of n, we need to take the difference, and if this is the integration, then we need to take the differentiation. Okay, so what is the conclusion? Step response is the response of the LTI system which characterized by sudden change in the input. So when some input has been given and where some changes exist, sudden changes exist, then we can characterize the response of the LTI system in terms of step response. So it is defined as the output due to a unit step input signal. Now let us consider this Hn be the impulse response of the discrete time LTI system, and step response is denoted by S of n. So what we can write, this step response is the convolution between this impulse response and this input, that is un is a step input. So we can able to write like this. Now this unit step, according to this representation, if we go with this representation, this kind of representation, u of n minus k means all the shifted step signals, time shifted step signals is 0 for k greater than n. So if let us consider this u of n is exists for up to this 2, so if k is greater than 2, then that becomes in the left hand side, right? So if this n is 2 and k becomes 3, so u of minus 1, that is in the left hand side. So all of them will become 0. All of them will become 0 because they are in the left hand side, but we are considering in the right hand side only, and all of them which are exist in the right hand side, they are having the amplitude of 1. So what we can write, this s of n is equals to h of k, that is k from, for the range of k from minus infinite to n, means all the values which are lesser than n. For those values of n, this Sn is same as this impulse response. So what we can say, that this step response is the summation of all the impulse responses. So it is the continuous time representation, and if we want to extract this impulse response from the step response, so first one in terms of discrete time system, that will be difference, and second one for the continuous time system, that will be the differentiation. Okay. So let us solve a problem. So let us consider a continuous time system, that is an RC circuit. Let us consider a problem where this impulse response h of t is given as 1 by r of c e to the power minus t by rc u of t. Okay, so find step response. Find step response. So what we going to do, we are going to integrate this impulse response within the range from minus infinite to t. So our solution is s of t is the integration of minus infinite to t 1 by rc e to the power minus t by rc u of tau d tau. Okay, right? So we're going to integrate that. So what is the range of this t? This is 0 for t less than 0, and this one is exist for t greater than 0. That is, we no need to write, because this step signal is identifying that it is having 0 value in the left hand side, that is like this. So this step input gives you the indication that all the values of this expression in the left hand side, that is t less than 0, is 0, and it exists only in the right hand side. So we need to find out the value for this. Just try to find out. So it is obviously 0 for t, sorry, it is having the integration. This one is integration from 0 to t. This one is the integration from 0 to t. Okay, so it is for less than 0 left hand side, and right hand side is coming as 1 minus e to the power minus of t by rc. It is for t greater than is equals to 0. So second problem in terms of discrete time system, h of n, sorry, it is h of n is given as rho to the power n u of n, assuming that it is given in the question, assuming that mod of rho is less than 1. So we need to find out step response S of n. So what we need to do? We need to take the summation of this, right? So S of n will be summation from k is equals to, as it is the unit step, so it will be minus infinite to n h of k, right? K is equals to minus infinite to n, it is rho to the power k, right? Isn't it? Okay, just solve it, this summation. Next we are going to start with differential and difference equation representation of LTI system. Up to this clear or any doubt within this? Clear? Differential and difference equation representation of LTI system. So this kind of representation gives you the relation between the input out characteristics of the LTI system. So it gives you an representation or a relation between the input and output of the LTI system. So it gives you some representation for the input output characteristics of LTI system. So this difference equations are used for the representation of discrete time system and differential equation are used for the representation of continuous time system. So in general form, a linear constant coefficient differential equation is constant coefficient differential equation can be represented as summation k is equals to 0 to capital N like this. I'm just writing this one. Where AK and PK are the constant coefficients of the system. XT is the input applied to the system, is the input to the system, and YT is the resulting output. Okay, YT is the resulting output. So this is the general form of a linear constant coefficient differential equation. Okay, so these are the constant and these are the this k, dk, dtk, they will represent the order of the system, and this yt and xt are the output and input to the system. So difference equation, this is the form of a differential equation. So a linear constant coefficient difference equation is having the similar form, with these derivatives are replaced by delayed values of xn and output yn. So I am just writing for this difference equation. It is about linear constant coefficient differential equation. So this differential equation for a continuous time system. So when we comes to difference equation, so a linear constant coefficient difference equation is like this. Summation k is equals to 0 to n ak y of n minus k. Now here this differentiation is replaced by delayed values of yn and xn. Now what is this n and m? This represents the order of the differential or difference equation. The order of the differential or difference equation is n comma m, which represents this n and m represents the number of energy storage devices in the system. Devices in the whole system. This order of this difference equation or differential equation actually represents the number of energy storage devices in the system. Now normally this n, either it is greater than or is equals to this m. So normally, or you can say often, this n is greater than or is equals to m. So try to understand why does n is greater than or is equals to m. And the order is described using only n. So what is this n? N is the order which is relates the output, related to output, means in the output of that system how many energy storage devices have been connected, and this m it relates with the input. So this, when this input is given to a system, so this energy storage devices which have been connected with the input and the energy storage devices which are connected with the output energy storage devices must be greater than or is equals to this energy storage devices in the input side. So if we take an example, let us consider we are having an RLC circuit with us. So just try to understand an example. If we take an RLC circuit, so some input has been connected. Let us consider it is your XT. Okay, so let us consider current is flowing through this circuit, this closed circuit. This current is your y of t. Let us consider. Okay, so how we can able to get the whole voltage in this closed loop? If we able to find out the voltage drop in each of the components which have been connected in this circuit. So this xt, let us consider it is the voltage source and output is the current around this loop. So here xt is the voltage source, which is input, and yt is the current, is the current around the loop, that is the output. Yes, tell me. Yes. Any doubt?
Please move the screen downward. Downside.
Now it is visible?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So xt is the voltage source which is given as the input, and yt the current which is flowing through this closed loop is the output. So if we take the summation of all the voltage drop, then what we can write? That R of y of t plus the voltage drop L di dt, right, across the inductor. And what is the voltage drop in capacitor? It is the integration of this current 1 by c integration minus infinite to t y of tau d tau, which is equals to this input voltage x of t. So let us consider it is plus, it is minus, so current is flowing like this. Okay, so if you differentiate both sides, so what we can write? 1 by c y of t plus r d dt of y of t plus L d square dt square y of t is equals to d dt of xt, right? So this differential equation describes the relationship between the current yt, this current yt, and the voltage xt in the circuit. So in this example, the order n is equals to 2 and the circuit contains two energy storage devices. So this maximum order of this differential equation is 2. So this 2 is also denotes the number of energy storage devices. So here the energy storage devices is 2, that is inductor and capacitor. Okay, clear or still doubt? Clear? So this energy storage devices are 2. So here the this order n is equals to 2. So having 2 energy storage devices. So let us consider a second order difference equation. Now till now we have been considered differential equation. So if we consider a difference equation, second order difference equation, like this, y of n plus y of n minus 1 plus 1 by 4 y of n minus 2 x of n plus 2 x of n minus 1. Okay, so this is an example of second order difference equation, means for a discrete time system, which represents the relationship between the input output signals of a system. Okay, so what is the order for this case? How we can able to identify? What will be the order of this system? Three? How? How it is 3? So what we have seen previously, if we go into that, sorry, not this one, if we go into that, so this n or m represents the order, right? So for a difference equation, this k is ranges up to m or up to this n, isn't it? This k is ranges up to n or up to m. So which one is the greater? We will choose that one as the order of the system. So we can say the k value here in a difference equation, k value represents the order maximum of larger of this k value. So here also the larger of the k value is 2. Clear? The larger k value is 2 here. So we can say the order of the system n is 2. Clear? Any doubt? This, according to this expression, this k represents the value of n, right? This k can be maximum up to n. So k is ranges between 0 to n, isn't it? So we can say Here k is ranges up to 2. So what is this 2? It is the maximum of this range, that is n here is 2. So it implies that maximum memory of this system output is 2. Maximum memory can be in the system output is 2. As we have been considering as a discrete time system, so maximum memory of 2 in the system output, in the system output. Clear up to this? Now from this difference equation, by some rearrangement in the expression, we can able to obtain the current output of the system from the input, that is system input, and the past output. So if we write this y of n, the system output is something like this. This is equals to 0 to m So these kind of formulas means these kind of expressions are known as recursive formulas to compute the current output of the system from the input signal and past output. So these are known as recursive formulas or expressions to obtain current or present output of the system from the input signal and past output. So this input can be present values as well as past values, and the output are the past values. This output are the past values and input is the present, that is k is equals to 0, as well as the past value. So how we can able to obtain this present or current output depending upon the input signal? Then input signal may be the present input as well as past input, and the output is the past output. So considering yn for n greater than is equals to 0, if we consider for n greater than is equals to 0, that is y of n for n greater than is equals to 0 from x of n for the second order difference equation So this y of n, I am just writing the expression, just hold, I'll describe. x of n plus 2 of x of n minus 1 minus of y of n minus 1 minus of 1 by 4 y of n minus 2. So what we did, we have rearranged this expression to find out the current or the present output of the system from the present input as well as past input and the past output. So this kind of formulas where we going to find out the present output of the system is known as recursive formulas or recursive expressions. So when this kind of input output relation is been given in terms of difference equation, from where if we wants to find out the current output of the system, so that rearranged expression of the input output relationship is known as recursive formulas or recursive expression. So what we need to find out, we need to find out this output of the system for n greater than or is equals to 0. Okay, so start with n is equals to 0. If we start with n is equals to 0, so we need to write y of 0 is x of 0 plus 2x of minus 1 past input, then past output. Same for n is equals to 1. If you write for n is equals to 1, that is y of 1 x of 1 2x of 0 y of 0 minus 1 by 4 y of minus 1. Same, let us write for n is equals to 2 y of 2 x of 2 plus 2x of 1 y of 1 minus y of 0. So in this way we need to go. So in each equation the current output is computed, this current output is computed from the input and the past values of the output, from the input as well as the past outputs. So in order to begin this process at n is equals to 0, we must know the two most recent values of the output. So if we need to find out the present output of the system, so we must have the knowledge of the recent two past outputs. So these values, these two outputs, this recent two outputs, for this case it is 2, maybe for the other cases it may be 3, other cases it may be 1. So this case of this type of cases where the present output, it depends upon recent past output. This recent past outputs are known as initial conditions. This recent past outputs, this recent past outputs, this, if we write like this recent past outputs are called initial condition of the system. So these initial conditions summarize all the information about the system's past that is needed to determine future output. So this initial condition gives you some summary or some news or some information about all the system past that is needed to determine the future output. Okay, so these recent past outputs are required for this kind of problem. These required to determine the future output of the system. So these initial conditions summarize all the information. It is having all the information about the system past that is needed to determine the future output. Okay, no additional information about the past output is necessary. Other than these initial conditions, nothing else, no additional information is necessary. So in general, the number of initial conditions required to determine the output is equal to how many initial conditions you require to determine the future output. It gives you the information about the maximum memory of the system. Okay, so this number of initial conditions, this number of initial condition required to determine the future output is equal to the maximum memory of the system. Maximum memory of the system. Okay, normally we are starting means initial condition. When some initial conditions are been related with this kind of system, means we need to identify here some memory elements or storage elements are been there within the system. Okay, clear up to this? So how to find out? It is up to this difference equation. So in the same way we can go with differential equation also. Okay, so if some n number of elements are been connected, let us consider initial conditions for the nth order difference equation will have n values, something like that. So if we consider for a nth order difference equation, for nth order means this nth order gives you number of initial conditions which is equals to number of maximum storage elements or memory elements in the system. So nth order difference equation for nth order differential equation, the initial conditions are of n values. Means nth order difference equation means it will give you the initial conditions of n values. Okay, so like this, y of minus n, starting with y of minus n, then y of minus n plus 1. In this way it will go up to y of minus 1. Okay, it will go up to y of minus 1. So like this, it is up to y of minus 1. Okay, so in the same way, the initial condition for nth order differential equation, the initial condition for an nth order differential equation are the values of the first n derivatives of the output, are the values of the first n derivatives of the output, that is y of t at t is equal to 0, means in the left hand side if we consider, means these initial conditions are the past values, so I am taking 0 minus, then d dt of y of t at 0 minus in the left hand side, just at the from the origin, just when we have been shifting in the left hand side, d2 dt to y of t is equals to 0 minus in this way,
visible. The downward.
okay, and up to
Plus
n minus 1 dt of n minus 1 y of t at t is equals to 0 minus. Okay, so in this way we need to find out the initial condition. So this initial condition in differential equation describes foreign LTI systems are directly related to the initial values of the energy storage element in the system. Okay, so this energy storage element for this system may be capacitor and inductor.